But it also says in Ephesians 5:21 that you should submit to one another out of reverence for Christ.
Any of my Bible thumpers ready to rock?
It
What happened,
literally
Cloud?
says
Where you at?
right
I think
I'm
that's
just
what it
Yeah,
says.
so
I
it
remember
does say
it.
that. It does
it
say
does
that, but
right that it literally says right after a wife
So
should
I,
submit to
I,
her
I dig
husband,
that,
a
but
husband should
what I
also
was asking
submit to his wife.
is was what that looks like.
People
It
always
Because
looks different. It just looked different. It looked
what does that
completely
mean?
different. So, for instance, for me, what it means to me, I'm good. This is something I'm known for, just all around. I'm good with dealing with spirituality. I'm good with knowing. So, for instance, submitting to me would be you doing things like they said that you giving a part to me that you wouldn't give to the world. Giving a part to me that you wouldn't give to your homeboys because they might judge you for it. You know what I'm saying? Trusting me to help you with things that you usually won't go to the world for. That's what submission means to me. Keeping me included, trusting me, and trusting that my opinion is valuable. That's what submission means to me. Trusting, and sometimes the world might put something in your head. Oh, I don't like a lot of girls doing their hairstyle. Say if it was braids, say a guy preference long, straight hair. Well, I want to do some braids, babe. It's cool. Go ahead, get you some braids. You know what I'm saying? Like, or just allowing me to. I mean, just giving yourself to me, like allowing me to be that voice and that person in your life. That's what that means to me.
that honestly doesn't fall into the definition of submission to my
it's more like
understanding. But okay,
exclusivity or loyalty
yeah,
and
that's.
faithfulness.
She said a bit. It sounded like she was just kicking some words out to
Selflessness.
make it
Think
sound
about
cool
it. But
and
think
everything.
about it
But
for
she,
a man. Selflessness. You have to be selfless to come to me with those emotions. You can't be like, oh, she's gonna judge me. She's gonna do this. She's gonna do that. When she said selflessness, not selfishness. I wish I would have wrote them down, but as she was giving the list, if anybody can give me another one that she said, I'm pretty sure I can give an example. But as she was listing those things, I was thinking of examples in the way that it looks for as a man, and it looks completely different than what it is as a woman. Selflessness. You
I
have
can
to
give
be
you an
able to
example.
protect us and put your life on the line to protect us. That's submission. It looks different for you guys, but it's the same word. But it's you who's triggered by it because y'all don't want to be connected to women whatsoever. It's bad to be a woman. It's
wait,
bad to have
who's
women
triggered
traits.
by it? Who's
But
triggered
women
by it?
have good traits too. And
y'all were
if
triggered by
it's a good thing
submission.
for us, why can't it be a good thing for you? Why are y'all so triggered by the word?
I'm not. First
Exactly.
of all,
They got real
it'd
triggered
be
in
very
there.
tough.
It's
It'd be
not a
very
trigger.
tough
It's
to
not a purpose.
trigger. Like it's really not that deep. Not for me, anyways. I'm pretty good where I am in
No
life,
fun when a
so
rabbit has wings.
I ain't tripping about the whole trigger thing. But what I'm saying is that I'm just having a difficult time understanding what it is because the way we just explained submission, the first three quarters of the show, doesn't sound like what she's talking about at all. That's the problem that I'm having. Is just trying. That's why I was just asking for examples for someone to please articulate to me what that looks like. And so far, no one's done a good job yet. Darwin says he swears he can. I would love to see. Maybe you can. I don't know, but so far nobody's able to explain to me. Whereas these other words didn't have meaning already. Submission part. Submission. When I think of submission, it's no different than what we've talked about the first three quarters of the show. Now, all of a sudden, submission is supposed to look like something different because Homegirl in the video said it, but nobody said anything like that the entire rest of the show. So that's where the confusion is here. So if somebody can articulate it even better, I'll be happy.
Go ahead,
And
Darryl. I think what I would say, the form of submission of a man seeing, or the way a man would submit, the only way I could see a man explain to you how a man would submit to his wife is see if she's exemplifying or she's displaying what God has endowed on her or what God means for a wife to be, as it is explained in the scripture, how a wife is supposed to operate. I mean, you're submitting to that. It's something holy about her and the way she operate, the way the scriptures or the way God's guiding is on a woman to
What does
be
it mean to
a
submit?
wife to her husband. So I would say you're submitting to the essence of the marriage, and she's a part of that marriage, the covenant, not necessarily her leadership or direction. Her love. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the gift she was given to God to bear your children. I think men can submit to that mechanism that God gave woman to be able to take our seed and give us immortality is something that men can submit to. You get what I'm saying? I would submit to that.
No, I don't. And I'm going to tell you why, because I just looked up the definition just to make sure I wasn't going bloody crazy. And it doesn't say anything like that. Submission literally says accept or yield to a superior force or the authority.
Well, I wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong, Trev.
I'm
I'm
trying
not
to.
submitting.
I wasn't
That's
reading.
literally what I said all night.
I wasn't reading
Showing
scripture
respect for
when I was
authority.
talking.
Literally what I've been saying all night.
I wasn't
The
reading
definition.
scripture when I was talking.
One mic,
about
y'all. One mic.
So
One mic.
Oh my
if
God.
you trying to
I
say that
said I'm not submitting.
if you was trying to say that the stuff that I was saying was coming from the Bible, I wasn't saying that it was coming directly from the Bible. The stuff that I'm talking about.
I was coming from
only
Webster's.
submitting to
I'm just
God.
saying the
Only.
definition of submit, right?
Oh,
And that's
you're
why
talking about the
the definition of
submit.
submit. So when we say submit, this homegirl came out on this video, and then now everybody just changed their interpretation of what the word submit means, and I think it's bogus. That's the problem I'm having. I
changed
can't digest
I
that.
never changed my interpretation.
Who changed their
I've always
interpretation?
disagreed when
I
he
didn't even
gave
go.
those examples.
I didn't go yet, so I don't know what I said.
All right, go ahead, Ruth.
All right. So I believe that a man has to submit to God, and that'll make it easier for a woman to submit to a man. That's how it's supposed to go. That's the order. But a lot of men don't want to submit to God. The women are the ones dragging them to church. If that's what you believe, So if they can really, be prayerful and all that, yeah, I don't have no problem submitting to a man. I think that Ty, you said that your dad hurt you, and I didn't want to talk to you directly, but just for women in your position, you have to heal your father wounds. You can't bring anything from the past in a new relationship. You got to give every relationship a blank slate. It's not fair. You don't want him to come with his baggage. You don't want him to have problems with his exes and his mother, and then you feel like that's for something that you have to deal with. So it's better. It's lighter. It makes it much better. So that's what I think the men were trying to explain that to you. I know you also said like prove, and then I kind of use the word prove when it comes to like submission and all that and trust, but that's not the right word for me to use. I think the building trust, somebody said that. I think it's better to build the trust so that it'll be easier for you to submit. And when you're in love, honestly, it's not hard to submit to your man. Like if he does so many things to make you happy, everything goes much smoother. If y'all getting along, if you agree, you're gonna cooperate. You're gonna want to make him happy. You're gonna want to see a smile on his face. You're gonna want to do some things. So submission doesn't have to be a negative thing. I know we have bad experiences. I've had both good and bad, but I'm gonna focus on the good, and I don't have a problem submitting to my man. I submit to him more than he wants me to. So, but it's because I've seen him, do sacrifice. So the more you see a man sacrifice, somebody said we naturally watch it. Watch it. We don't naturally do anything. You might naturally, but a lot of these women, they don't naturally do anything they're supposed to do. They'll take advantage and then they'll say, "Oh, he does this. I'll take him for granted, and I'm still going to complain. I'm still going to do all of that stuff." So, yeah, that's what I would say.
I'm going to direct to Ruth since she responded to what I was saying. I use that as an example because Darwin wanted an example of why some Black women don't automatically fall into submission, or an example of why we wouldn't be submissive or want to be submissive in the situation. When it comes to my father wounds, I did heal that. My father is now passed. He's been gone for 4 years. That was when I was in high school. By the time I was in college, I had a lot of conversations and healing and self-reflective moments with him specifically to get past that, because I understood that could hinder me in my future, especially when I got into relationships. I don't want that to be something as if I've never submitted to someone, because I started off the statement saying that I don't have an issue with submitting. My thing was that some women, especially Black women, sometimes need to feel as if we are safe enough to submit. And a lot of us don't always feel safe enough to submit. And that safeness comes with trust.
You haven't submitted.
Like you stated, Ruth, you have to be dealing with a man who's going to show you those things and make you feel safe.
How you gonna feel safe if you uncovered it? Don't make no sense. Go ahead.
Wow,
You got it. You got it.
Jesus.
You got it.
Right.
You got it.
Dude,
You got
somebody mute his mic.
The
Like,
clout show tonight.
what's going on?
I think we should take the opportunity to
But
empathize
hold
with
on.
Ty for for sharing
Ty,
her personal story. She opened up an
Yeah.
opportunity for us to be able to look for alternative options for women who don't have a father to get approval for a man. And if we don't take this opportunity, we kind of like not we're kind of doing a disservice to our listeners that's like maybe in the same situation as Ty. Like, okay, now that y'all figured out that that's a problem, is anybody on a panel going to come up with alternative options
I
for
got one.
women that are disenfranchised and they don't have a father to come up with a way to
I got one.
get approval?
So what I done, I had to have faith before. I had to say, what if this is the best guy in the world and I don't even know it? Given that faith, and he proved himself, and I gave it time. Then you because if we start, you better earn it, you better build it, you better like to who? Like they thinking like I don't get to show you nothing. You see what I'm saying? But if we prove if we are saying, you know what, I have the faith to walk on the water, like I'm just gonna believe, like if this is the person God sent for me, I'm just gonna just give him some rope, right? And he's either gonna hang himself or it's gonna work out great. And that can work out right with the right person. And if it works out with the wrong person, if it's the wrong person, you cut them immediately.